All right, let's dive right in. Today we are talking about the psychologist Carl Rogers and his book on becoming a person. And I've got to tell you, it offers a totally revolutionary way to think about personal growth. So if you've ever felt like you needed to be fixed, I want you to just set that idea aside for a few minutes because Rogers has a much more empowering way to look at it. So let's just start with a really direct question and be honest with yourself here. Are you living your life, or are you busy living out the life that somebody else expects from you? This question right here is the absolute heart of Carl Rogers' entire philosophy, and it's what we're going to unpack today. So how do we get there? How do we start living our own authentic life? Well, Rogers' work basically lays out a whole new path to growth for us. And it's not about fixing what's broken. It's about unlocking the incredible person you already are. Here is the core belief, and it is so simple, but so powerful. You are not a problem that needs to be solved. You don't need to be fixed. Rogers believed that every single one of us has this built-in natural drive towards growth. Kind of like a seed, right? A seed already has everything it needs inside to become a huge tree. You don't fix the seed, you just give it the right soil, the right water, the right sunlight to let it do its thing. And this little chart really shows you the difference. Over on the right, you've got the traditional way of thinking. Focus on the problems, an expert comes in, diagnoses you, and tries to fix you. But Rogers' client-centered approach, over on the left, flips that whole thing on its head. It's all about your potential. You are the one who leads the way. And the goal is just to create the perfect environment for your own natural growth to take off. Okay, so what is this right environment? What are those ingredients? Rogers boiled it down to 3 essential things he called the core conditions. Think of these as the soil, water, and sunlight that we all need to flourish. Let's break them down. First up, we have authenticity, or as Rogers called it, congruence. This is all about being real. It means what you're showing on the outside actually matches what you're feeling on the inside. You know those social masks we all wear to fit in or please people? This is about having the guts to take them off and just be yourself. The second ingredient is empathy. Now, this is way more than just feeling sorry for someone. True empathy, in Rogers' view, is an active skill. It's about deeply listening to someone without judging them, so you can genuinely understand what their world feels like from their side. It's that kind of deep listening that makes us feel safe enough to be vulnerable and, to actually grow. And this brings us to the third condition. And honestly, this one is a game changer: unconditional positive regard. This is the big one. It means you accept and value someone completely, for exactly who they are, with 0 strings attached. There are no ifs. No, I'll love you if you do this. It's this total, radical acceptance that frees people from the fear of being judged, and it gives them the space to figure out who they really are. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Just feel the difference for a second. That shift from conditional value, I'll value you if, to unconditional value, I value you, period. That is the foundation for real connection and real personal growth. Okay, so that's the theory. It sounds great, right? But how do we actually do this? The cool thing about Rogers' philosophy is that it's not just some abstract idea. It actually gives us a pretty clear action plan for building these conditions into our own lives. So the first 4 steps are all about creating daily practices. For authenticity, just try to notice one time today when what you did on the outside didn't quite match what you felt on the inside. No judgment, just notice it. For empathy, have one conversation where your only goal is to understand the other person, not to fix them or give your opinion. Then acceptance. Think of someone in your life and just for a moment decide to value them exactly as they are. And a great way to tie all this together is journaling. Just a couple of minutes before bed, ask yourself, what did I really feel today? It's amazing what comes up. Now, the last few steps are more about shifting your whole mindset. First, try to create these growth environments yourself. Be the person in the room that makes other people feel safe to be authentic. Second, and this is a big one, learn to love the process, not just the outcome. Growth isn't a straight line, it's messy. So focus on the progress you're making, not on being perfect. And finally, set a little reminder for yourself. Maybe once a month, just pause and ask that question we started with. Hey, have I been living my own life lately? And when you put all of this together, it leads to what I think is the most beautiful part of Rogers' work. It completely reframes self-growth, not as some destination you have to reach, but as a journey you get to live. And there it is,
real fulfillment isn't a finish line you cross one day, where you can say, okay, I'm fixed, or now I'm a good person. No way. It is the continuous, messy, wonderful, ongoing process of becoming more and more you. The journey itself is the whole point. So I want to leave you with this one last thought. Forget about making some massive, life-altering change, just for a second. Based on everything we just talked about, what is one small, tiny step you can take, maybe even right after this, to move just 1 inch closer to becoming your true self today?